Good morning, GTS retail partners, and welcome to our Wednesday edition of the Retailer to Publisher webinar series that we do on a weekly basis. I'm Scott Bohr, your category manager for gaming specialty products, which includes miniature games, miniatures that you'd use for role-playing games, as well as gaming accessories like dice and other accessories to accentuate your gaming experience at the table. We have with us today Daryl McKay from Bellum to talk about Conquest and Conquest First Blood, as well as some of the exciting things that are going on with their products. But before we jump into it, I want to just give you some quick instruction on how you can interact with the presenters today. You can use the chat button down at the bottom of your screen, or if you're on your phone, it'll be part of the three dots. If you mouse over or scroll over your video, you'll get the option to select the chat window. Most of you, I'm sure, are familiar with Zoom by now, but just in case you're not, you click on that, and then you have the option of sharing your question or comment either with all panelists or all panelists and attendees. If you click all panelists, it's just to Daryl and I, and if you click all panelists and attendees, it goes to everyone in the audience, so everyone will be able to see it. Okay, so that's pretty much all for the technical side of things. So without further ado, I'd like to hand things over to Daryl McKay so he can talk about all the exciting things coming up from Bellum and with Conquest and First Blood.
Thank you, Scott. I appreciate the opportunity to be here, and I'm grateful to all of the retailers who are joining us today. I am head of global sales and marketing for Bellum, and we are the maker of the Conquest tabletop miniature game. We're gaining a lot of steam right now with the release of our new faction, the Wadroon, and I'll start us off by sharing this video with you. Come on, share screen. There we go. Hopefully it's all going well.
We have kept our end of the deal for centuries. It is time for you to honor yours. We are claiming our due. Your day to come. We care not for the fate of your empire. We will deal with your kings. For we are the Wadroon. Your only choice today is to open them or run and tell them that we did. Either way, all must know. The gates are open. The Wadroon are here.
What I will do as well is I'll just show a quick video of the products that are coming out so that you can see those while we're doing videos. Ooh. I forgot to stop the video underneath it. Sorry about that. That'll be better. I always forget that YouTube immediately starts playing the next one. So this is our fifth faction, the Wadroon. These are some of the new products that will be coming out this month and next month. You can see the fine level of detail in the miniatures. We have dual kits as well as characters. The Blooded and Braves are one of the dual kits. Hunters and Slingers are another one of the dual kits. The Scion of Conquest is out now. We have the Alt Sculpt limited edition preview product. The Raptors will come out in June, May shipment. A very strong lineup of product coming all at one time. So we're very excited to share those with you. And then I'm going to
You need the food bunker.
Oh, stupid YouTube.
You have a busy life and are in need of something more convenient for.
Sorry about that. So I'm going to quickly go to the deck. Just quickly walk you through some of the products that are coming out. So hopefully now you can see the deck.
Yes.
So I just showed the videos, so you have a sense of what's happening there. Our 5th faction is coming out this month. We start shipping for in-store release the first week of May, with 2 exceptions that are out now: the limited edition Scion, as I mentioned before, and our new Army support packs, which will have cards for all the 2021 Wadroon items, so you can buy them all at one time. The Wadroon POP materials are also available now. So we have posters in 4 different posters in 2 different sizes, as well as Wadroon order forms, so that you can take orders from your customers and know what they're interested in. All of that's available. Those POP items are available at no charge. We're also blessed to be on the cover of Miniature Wargame magazine, the issue that is coming out this month, and will be the May cover date. So a lot of exposure for the new Wadroon 5th faction of the Conquest game. Here's an example of one of the posters. There's another example of the poster in the order form. And we are also doing a Welcome Wadroon bundle for retailers that are available through GTS. A great savings, a great way to stock up now in advance of the new release for the Wadroon. This Welcome Wadroon bundle is close to $2,000 of retail value, $1,960 and change, for $650 wholesale. So it's a great assortment of products that includes the limited edition Scion Alt Sculpture piece, includes our companion book, the core boxes, an organized play kit, a lot of content for a very low price to get you in your store ready ahead of the Wadroon release for the Conquest fans. If you want a smaller everyday bundle, we have the Warband box for all 5 factions. The Wadroon Warband box will also ship with the Wadroon release. It's $149 retail, and I call it the Russian nesting doll of our boxes, because inside, when you open up the big box, you get all of the miniatures boxes for all of the factions in their original packaging. So you sell it as a complete 1,500 point army to a fan, or you open it up and you sell the pieces and you restock your shelves for a slight discount. So it's a nice way to be very flexible with your product and your inventory. With Conquest, you're not just buying miniatures. One of the things that I think is compelling about our product is free rules. You download them for free without any problem at all in 7 languages right now. We have a free army builder. Again, other miniature systems charge you for that. And the Wadroon rules and the Wadroon army builder go live on Friday. So April 9th is the complete launch of all of the Wadroon pieces online ahead of the product for the most part. So you can get a sense of the rules. You can start building your army lists ahead of time if you want to. We're excited about that. You also get all of your command cards, your bases and stands with each box. You get multi-pose plastic miniatures in each infantry set. And the big thing is 2 game systems, right? So you get your First Blood, which is our skirmish style game, and you get the Last Argument of Kings, which is our mass fantasy battle style of game. You want to play quick, you have a quick shot of time to play with a friend, and you have a smaller space. Skirmish is a great way to play. You don't have to change up your miniatures, however, when you decide to play mass fantasy battle. Our miniatures, our lore, they work great for both types of games. So you have the flexibility with our product with Conquest that you don't have with other game systems. It's great for a retailer because you can keep a Conquest table going, and no matter which style of play somebody wants to play in store, they're ready to go. Our Living World program, we're going to talk about it in a minute, but our Living World program is also free for users, and it allows the community to engage online, both in voting for things that they would like to see in upcoming releases of Conquest, including having just voted for our 6th faction, which is the Old Dominion, and that will release in Q1 of 2022. So the 5th faction, the Wadroon, coming out now, the 6th faction coming out in January of 2022. So a lot of excitement, and the community picked that the Old Dominion would be the 6th faction to be released. Another thing that is big for us at Conquest is the community and events and programs that engage the community and the community as a whole. So we've done a lot of collaborations at Conquest. One of them that I'm featuring here right now is our painting event with Demo Steny, a night with Demo, as we call it. It's a 2-hour painting event as part of our collaboration with Warcolors and Tabletop Gaming and Miniatures Wargaming magazine. This is a great program. Our lead artist is Demo Steny. It's a Rage X Fire collaboration that we put out this month that just came out live with Warcolors. So you get a complete 12-piece regiment, 5 full-size bottles of Warcolor paints, some of the colors exclusive to the set, all at $49 or euros. We have parity pricing that way across the world. And you get a free ticket to this 2-hour event, a miniature painting demonstration, as well as a miniature painting program around painting the Rage X Fire set. And retailers are absolutely welcome to participate with this. You can get a ticket for each Rage set that you sell to your fans, or you can do a painting night in your store, and we can do a whole group program online. So if you'd like more information about that, you can reach out to Scott or to myself, and we'll be happy to work that out. But it's a really nice program for retailers and fans of painting miniatures, of tabletop miniatures. You don't have to play the game to participate with our product as model painting. A lot of people do. And if you want more details, you can also see that there's a link, and this deck is absolutely available to you. It is on our retailer website posted as well, so you can get to these links really easily. Our events calendar on our website can host your events, but also host events like these for more information as well. Speaking of events, we're big on organized play, and as the world happily starts to awaken from the COVID slumber and organized and in-store play starts to become a thing again, and I realize that that's going at different paces in different parts of the world, but we're going to make sure that our organized play is ready for you with some refreshment and some updates. So first, you're going to see the Alpha Edition, and I say first because this is where you start. This is shipping the end of April. It's an updated version of the organized play kit that we've had out, but updated in a way that is really compelling. One, it includes the Dwagome Tempered Sorcerer Alt Sculpt miniature that is exclusive to this set. You can't get it anywhere else. It's including a 100 Kingdoms upgrade pack that you see pictured there. So you can upgrade your armies and personalize them the way you like to. It will include our first ever tournament booklet. So this is an OP booklet that talks to you about how to play Conquest in a formal way or a casual play way too. You can do league play, campaign play, or tournament play from this OP kit. So you have a lot of flexibility. Each kit is for 8 people, and it comes with coins, sleeves, deck boxes, and AGM or registration codes. And our AGM codes are used on our Living World, and they're basically our digital currency that helps people level up their play and their status within the community, as well as qualify for regional, national, and world tournaments. Our OP Kit Season 1 is coming out. It will ship the end of May for release in June. The first events can happen in June, and it's going to give you an entire quarter's worth of product. So this is a big kit, right? So this is giving you 6 different events. It's like 6 of the prior ones, but each of these are different events. So you're going to see a kit for league play, a kit for a campaign event, a kit for a paint and take. And it'll include sprues and paintbrushes and things from our friends at Redgrass in terms of collaborations. There'll be paint wet palettes and things like that that'll be part of the paints and take box. There'll be 3 tournament boxes for Last Argument of Kings and First Blood. And again, 8 player kits, each of these. So if you're going to have 16 people typically participating, you'd buy 2 kits. Enhanced prize support is included with this. As I noted, the Red Grass painting products, Warcolor paints, sprues for each participant in the paints and takes. And for the first time and exclusive to these kits, alt sculpts for forthcoming characters from the Weavers, the City States, and the Old Dominion factions. These are the three factions that we're battling in our Project 6. The Old Dominion won, but and the Old Dominion will be the first faction to come out in full. But the Weavers and City States will each get their own retinues so that they can advise your armies in the short term if you're lucky enough to win one of these tournaments in the play. So a lot of exciting stuff that's included in this OP kit, and a great way to participate with Conquest and build your Conquest community. I mentioned the Living World and how the tournaments are going to fit into that. Here you will see when you log in, retailers will have their own login, and if you're not set up on our Living World as a retailer, we will absolutely get that done for you quickly and easily. Each player will have their own ranking and rating. The more they play, the more Agam they get. The more Agam they get, the higher the rating and the higher the rank. And so they go up different levels based on how many tournaments and casual play. Just playing a game in your store that you validate will count for Agam on the Living World. So it's a great platform to show the community engaged and playing with the product. And you can see here what an average account might look like and how they would add points to their leaderboard. And as I noted before, the Living World has been really active. We had a tremendous amount of Old Dominion followers who voted them to be the next one, but tens of thousands of votes were cast. All of the three factions did very, very well. There's no question that 7 and 8 and 9 have already somewhat been decided. We have another faction that's a surprise potentially coming out in between one of these next two. So a lot going on. There are, when all is said and done with Conquest, over 20 factions that we will see built out. Not all at once, of course. And as you saw with the Wadroon, when we launch a faction, we will be launching a robust amount of products so that they can be competitive on launch. It will not be one of those scenarios where you get one product a month and by the 8th month, you finally can start to play. No, we're going to give you product that can really launch right away a competitive army. So we're excited about that. The Living World is part of that. And we're excited that people are creating community online, particularly during this time that we've been in where they haven't been able to be in store as much as they would like. If you're new to Conquest, a lot of people ask, what are the top selling items? How do I get involved? In every one of these resource decks that I am presenting today from, we push this out every month. Every month it's updated with marketing initiatives and sales initiatives for you, the retailer. This is designed as a resource tool for you. And included in that are the top selling items. First quarter will be added shortly so that you can see what were the top 2021 top selling items in Q1. But right now, last year, the #1 item was the core box with the Steel Legion and the Marksman clones. It is a great get started opportunity. You'll definitely see more Nords products as the year went on. The Nords really grew. Spires are our top selling faction overall. So it's, it's an exciting thing, but we do want to provide information for you that can help you as you make your purchasing decisions as well. Our catalog is updated every 6 months. This is the current one, which includes January through June's releases. There are 36 products that we're happily bringing out to you in January through June, another 30 or more products coming the second half of the year, including the Apex Predator that you saw in the background of the Wadroon, a giant model of a true dino. You saw the raptors in the video. There will be dinosaurs coming. Coming in June for July release will be the first dragon for the Dwagome, the Hellbringer Drake. You'll see that in the catalog here. So we do want to encourage you to hand these out, and these are also available in physical copies for free, as well as a downloadable link. Our Retailer of Conquest program continues. We do regular social posts on behalf of our retailers around your events, around your community, whatever you would like us to know, essentially, about what's going on at your store with Conquest that can engage more people to be part of your Conquest community locally. So please join the hashtag Retailers of Conquest part. And know that the retailer resource website is always available to you. Marketing materials, of course, yes. Social postings that are pre-done that you can absolutely use and steal. We encourage that. Wallpapers for your website, banners, anything you can imagine. And of course, all product imagery as well, so that you can sell our product online easily and effectively. Our order form also has all the extended descriptions, weights, and measurements that you need to sell product online. So you're welcome to all of this information all the time, 24/7 on our retailer website. There you'll also see things about our Vanguard programs, which I'll talk about in a second, links to the event calendar, the store locator. So if you're not on our store locator and you're carrying Conquest, let me know. We'll make sure to get you in there. And I did put my email address in the chat. We have a demo program, which you can get from GTS as well. The core box, the Steel Legion, and the Marksman clone are available one time for each retailer as a demo set at 75% off. So basically you're paying $25 for the core box or $10 each for the 2 expansions for rough numbers. It's a great opportunity to have a painted setup in your store for not a lot of money. And maybe your first task of your Vanguard, your store ambassador for Conquest, is to paint said army and to create that sort of Conquest feature area in your store. This is what our Vanguard program is. It's a player or players that are leaders in your community that you trust, that can speak to Conquest as a Vanguard. We give them advanced information about the product, sometimes advanced even to the retailers. We want to make sure that our Vanguards are on the cutting edge. They're very involved in the rules and the rule creation. They have been beta and alpha testing the Wadroon rules for months now, and giving us recommendations. So if you have a Vanguard or someone that you consider to be a community leader, again, reach out to me. We'll get them connected to the program. We'll get them trained, and they will help you build the Conquest community in your store with things like quick start rules and a true getting started plan that is all available from us. We were pleased to be awarded the top game by the Hobby Bunker Scherzheimer Club in Germany. There's hundreds of people in this club. It's a very, very active group, and we're thrilled to be partnering with them as well now. You can see that they've painted over 20,000 miniatures as a group, and we were very, very pleased to take top war game award for the last 2 years. So a nice tribute, and we are grateful to them for their support. And online, you'll see lots of community support, both from our own featured pieces, as well as Facebook groups that are very, very active. And something that people aren't always aware of, our product is European and American content exclusively. We have no Chinese built product. It's made it, allowed us essentially to be able to stay essentially completely on time. We've missed by a week here and there release date, but not by anything months and months related at all. So, and right now we've been really cranking our release schedule. So I'll keep knocking on wood for that, because it's not easy to do, particularly in COVID times. But that's an important thing as you look at how you're going to support your community. Do you have a regular flow of merchandise and miniatures coming? And I know that's not a struggle for us. We've been able to keep a regular flow of product coming. One might argue we're communicating too often, this regular flow of product. There's a lot of stuff coming, and we're excited to build each of our factions to have new product. We did not stop shipping product for the 4 existing factions in an order to ship the 5th faction out, the Wadroon. Everybody, whether you're a Dwagon player, Spires player, a Nords player, or a 100 Kingdoms player, has had new product for this year as well. We think that's important to keep, again, the community fresh and engaged. Tassos has joined us. Leandros, many of you know, is fulfilling his military duty that is required of all Greek citizens. So Tassos and I are trying to fill his footsteps, fill his shoes, and walk in his footsteps, I should say, at filling those community leader roles. And in the meantime, you can write to both of us about Vanguard issues or community issues. Stavro, our founder, has been on these before, and I think many of you have met him. And Maria is Stavro's sister, as you can tell from the name. And Maria has done an amazing job keeping our trains, as they say, running on time. I give her tremendous props. So we're excited about that. So that's the presentation. Julio asks, for new players, what's recommended? A great question. We have a Path of Conquest program that we did with Beasts of War for the last 6 months. It's a path, it is called Path of Conquest. You can get those downloads on our website or on their website. And it's basically a tale of four gamers meets how do you start a game in an episodic way. You can pick your favorite faction and then start with a warband if you really are into, particularly Last Argument of Kings play. If you want to play the full mass fantasy battle, the warband for your favorite faction is an awesome way to do it. I would highly recommend that. Second thing would be, the second thing I would look at is if you're a skirmish fan, you can always start with one of the First Blood Tasters. That's going to give you 400 or 500 point army that you can really start a skirmish game really nicely.
Great. And, you know, for some retailers, this is a very new experience getting into the actual war gaming with miniatures. So if you're able to just briefly give a sort of what's the difference between a mass fantasy battle and a skirmish?
So skirmish games are quick. They tend to have shorter rules, smaller armies. You know, I guess the pathway to victory is a little less intense. Smaller infantry sets, fewer characters. It's a really approachable and great way to start play. Age of Sigmar is probably the most famous right now, skirmish-focused game that people know well. But a lot of your WizKids games are also skirmish battles. They're very popular right now, and they require smaller table space. And typically a game's about 45 minutes, maybe an hour, and 2 people easy, right? So a mass fantasy battle, though, can be much bigger. You could play 4 factions against each other. It's typically a 4x6 table. That will be our official tournament rules. So it's a big table space. It's a big army. You're going to want 1,500 point armies, warband set. You're going to want at least 2 full infantry sets and probably more. You're going to want your dino, for sure, if you're playing Wadroon, you're going to want the Apex Predator. If you're playing Dwagom, you're going to want the Hellbringer Drake. If you're a Nords fan, you're going to want your Jotner on the battlefield. Games can last a couple hours. And it's more old school, if you will, in many ways. That is what tabletop miniatures started as. So again, what's great about Conquest, however you like to play or however your weekend allows for play, it's not really different than golf in some ways. Some weekends you have 18 holes that you can play. Other weekends, the family says you've got 9. And I would say it's probably a fairly similar parallel.
Excellent.
I see we got tried players getting Rune Wars, but it gets stuck in inventory. What would you suggest for that to not happen again? So it's a great, obviously when any retailer starts a miniatures game, the biggest question is how am I going to build a community and not just put products, boxes on shelves to gather dust, because I can't charge for the extra dust. I get it. And I totally support where you're coming from. Number one, I would say, don't even bring our product in unless you're planning to support it and support a community. Set up events that you can have in your store. If you're in a location that isn't in-store play, build an online community. Do things like online play, online painting demonstrations, things that can engage your community online, even if it's just joining our happy hours. We have virtual happy hours once a month. The next one will be in May. We actually shouldn't say once a month. Each quarter we do them. And so it starts in May again. We did January, February, March. We just had with a series of different products in the lead up to Wadroon. We'll pick it up again in May with things like the Hellbringer Drake teases for the Dwagom, some of the new products that are coming out for the second half of the year. Those are really nice community events that get people together. And we do them at 3 different time zones so that no matter what time zone you live in, you can join one of our virtual happy hours for sure, comfortably without having to get up in the middle of the night. So I think that's the way I would say is make sure that you're planning to have a community, not just put boxes on a shelf, because that's hard. And it's hard for any product, to be honest. If you don't make the effort to merchandise and market the product, then you're just putting boxes on a shelf and hoping that luck says they will sell them out. And we will definitely help you get that Vanguard, get that person who can be your ambassador, even if that's you, be that ambassador. We have product made in the US and Europe. And Manuel, thanks for the question. This is different than carrying, okay, sure. Other than the supply, so different than Game Workshop. Well, I mean, Games Workshop, if you will, they're kind of like, I'll use the trading card analogy. They're like Tops versus Upper Deck. Both are great. I'm not going to say anything bad about Games Workshop, and this is not going to be the time you get me a quote saying Games Workshop is the worst. They're not. They're amazing. They've been around for 40 years. They know what they're doing, but it's a different game. It's a different experience. We are young, hungry. We're trying harder. Most everybody in the company plays GW, so it's not like they came from GW. It's all there was for Stavro when he started. He started as a Warhammer player. And he knew that there could be a game out there that would be more appealing to players than what Game Workshop has put out there so far. Doesn't mean it's bad. We're very different. You've already heard a lot of those things. One of the things that's different about us is our scale. We're a little larger than Games Workshop figures. It's one of the reasons why people love to paint our figures, because it's a little easier for one, but two, we can put more detail into them. Our sculpts are truly, some of them are absolutely stunning. All of them are really good. Let me say it that way. Our worst sculpture is better than most sculptures by the best sculptures by most companies. And I say that because I have nothing to do with it. So, I can boast a little bit because I'm not the guy sculpting these. Otherwise, you'd get stick figures if it were up to me. So, these guys are very, very talented at what they do. And then the lore, so Konstantinos has been on these calls before. He's always part of our happy hour. The man writes beautifully. Between him and Stavros, the creative energy that goes into writing for our game, again, I'll put it up next to anybody, including those that have been doing it for 40 years. Lastly, I think the big difference for us is that we are a smaller company. We are all people who are passionate about what we do. This is not a paycheck for us. This is about waking up every day of how can we engage with our community and get them excited. And I don't know whether everybody that wakes up each morning at Games Workshop thinks about their community and how they get them excited. I just know that we do. We talk about it. It's not something that is just lip service. The Conquest community is part of everything we do, from Colors of Conquest, which Tassos has created a gallery on our website and on Instagram. You don't believe me about the sculpts? Go check out the Color of Conquest gallery and what the community has done. It's certainly not this guy. The painting is I look at it and I'm just like, how on something that is this big did they get that level of detail? How? It's just stunning. And that's what makes this fun. So Manuel, it's a great question. I hope I've answered it well. And I hope you'll join us. I don't know where your store is, but I would love to connect and see if we can help you build a community. And same for you, Julio. Certainly want to help everything that GTS does in support of your store. And anybody else who hasn't rung in with a chat or a comment, please know, or if you're watching this on, I'll use the old-fashioned term tape later on. If you're watching this on tape later on, or digital download, or whatever it is we call a recorded message these days, you've got my email address in the chat, or it's always contact@parabellum.com. I get all of those as well, and we'd love to work with you. Oh, your store's in New Jersey. Fantastic. And we have a nice community growing in New Jersey, and we just added, I think, 2 Vanguards, Tasso, if I'm not mistaken, in Jersey.
I think he's muted right now.
Muted, I think, right now.
Yeah, he is. I will just say that my interactions with Parabellum have always been positive, and that the passion is very evident. There's a lot of intentionality in the product, in what you're doing, in the way that you're building it. The versatility is excellent, being able to use it in the 2 different games, so you're not like squeezing people for, if you want to play this, you need this. If you want to play that, you need that. And everything's accessible. Whether you buy the game to play it in last Argument of Kings and then decide, well, I want to give First Blood a try, you can still use those same models and download the rules. So there's no cost in experimentation, which makes it really great for the player. For the hobbyist, like you said, the models are excellent detail. There's a lot of them and they're very creative sculpts, very different from everything else that's out there on the fantasy market. So there's a lot of opportunity for people who enjoy the hobby of painting to get involved at various levels. And you made it easier with the kits and with the paint nights. Those are excellent ways to support not only the gamer side of things, but also the hobbyist side of things. The convenience is there, and also the engagement with the community. All of these programs and opportunities for people to not only join a paint night, but also to affect the outcome of the storyline are excellent opportunities that really engage people and make them want to play more. So it's an excellent opportunity for stores coming in now as the pandemic starts to open doors for more and more people to come into the store. They're going to be looking for something new to try. And this is an excellent way to introduce them to something new and give them an opportunity to really get in on the ground floor, as it were, with a young system, with few factions, a lot of opportunity for experimentation. So for a new store coming into it, one of the bundles, like the Welcome Wadroon bundle, would be an excellent way to stock your shelves. The war bands, as you mentioned, war bands for the Conquest, our last Argument of Kings, and then also the First Blood starters are excellent new products to bring in, and then listen to the community and see what direction they're heading to kind of supplement and bring in additional product.
And one thing I will note on the Wadroon war bands, and they are coming out this month as well, that'll be the first Wadroon item to sell out of the initial run. And while we do make some products as limited editions, we also recognize that as a tabletop miniature, the core products always need to be available so that new players can start up and play. So we don't ever intend to sell out of core products, but my crystal ball is as flawed as everyone else's crystal ball. So when it comes to forecasting, I can tell you right now that my crystal ball on the warbands was light, and we will sell out of the warbands before release of Wave 1, and it'll be probably mid to late June before we can get more of them built. So if you are interested in a warband for the Wadroon in particular, please do let Scott know as soon as possible, because those are going to go. Julio, I see that you're in Guatemala City. We would love to partner with you as a retailer. It'll be our first community in that country, and that would be exciting to really help do some special things with you and with Scott together to bring the community there and engage them. We would supply you with some sprues and some things like that as well to get them started and get building, and do some paint nights remotely. And we could certainly host a virtual happy hour, even if it's just for your community to get them excited. Something not unlike this we would do for you and with you. And, again, as I've said to Scott, if you have anything that as a retailer you are looking to do that is, shall we say, abnormal, challenge me to say no. Come up with something that you say to me, this is what I need to do to start my community in Conquest, and challenge me to say no. It's a big saying for me, and it's worked well. There's very little that I do say no to. I might not be able to do everything people want, but we'll come up with some way to make it exciting for you and your community.
Excellent. One of the things that we didn't touch on, we've touched on in previous conversations, but not in this one, is that also with the Wadroon coming in, there is enough product and variety within the release to make them competitive right out of the gate. So in a lot of other war games, as new factions enter, they get a sprinkling of product over a period of time, and so the faction's not really competitive. But with that intentionality that really drives Parabellum, I see, this faction's ready to go right out of the gate.
Yes.
So it's an excellent opportunity.
Yeah, it's a big part of our realization, and we did this with all 4 of the factions released so far, is to make sure that you can play with them. There's nothing worse than being excited for a faction and having to wait 6 months before you can actually play a faction. That doesn't work well in encouraging community by any means. It's just a tease.
Excellent. So if you are interested in bringing Parabellum and Conquest and First Blood into your store, contact us, contact me, and we'll help get you guys set up. We'll work on, like Daryl said, special events. We'll work on making sure that you have the right mix of product to get you started, and then also be able to support you long-term as you move forward. So that's an opportunity and an offer there on the table for you. Hopefully we'll see your store grow with this product line, and our relationship, again, our partnership with Parabellum is a good one. We're really looking forward to growing that in the future. So excited about that.
Perfect. Thank you, Scott.
It says time has passed for the 650 deal.
Not on our end. I don't know. No, you can definitely get them. They just started shipping.
Which one is that?
The Welcome Wadroon bundle.
Oh, the Welcome Wadroon. I think we did we took orders internally on that, but that's not something that's got a cutoff date in terms of now you can't order it. It just means that we did our initial pre-order run. So if that's something that you're interested in, talk to your sales rep, talk to me, and we'll get you set up for that.
Yeah, we definitely have them. They'll be available for a quarter. So they'll be available from now until through June at least.
Okay, I will make a note of that.
It's a great way to restock a store. For those of you old enough to remember greatest hits albums, this would be the Parabellum greatest hits store bundle.
Excellent. Yeah, once again, all of the product, if you see it on the GTS website, all that product is available. Even if the pre-order date has passed, it's still available to order. You just need to make sure that you contact your sales rep, contact us if you don't see it in stock, or if you want to place an order late, shortly after pre-order. We can make sure that we get it done for you.
Yeah, and one of the nice things about Parabellum that is unique is that we do have warehouse facilities in the US, in Canada, in Germany, in Poland, in the UK, in Australia, and in Greece. So, we can cover the world pretty quickly with restocks. Even if GTS happens to be out of something, we can get it to them quickly.
Great. All right. I don't see any additional questions. If there are any last minute things, go ahead and throw them up there. Otherwise, I'll go ahead and close this out. Just as a reminder, if you're new to this, we do webinars just about twice a week. There are gaps every now and again in the schedule, so allow for that. But if you're not registered, there's a registration link that will be up on YouTube with this video. If you can click like and subscribe, and you'll get automatic updates for that. And keep an eye on us for upcoming partnerships with Parabellum and with the coming releases for Conquest and First Blood. And we're very excited about the partnership. We thank you once again for being here, Daryl. Thank you for our retailers who joined us today. We really appreciate it. And once again, this video will be available up on YouTube if you need the resources to come back into later. It should be up later today, but possibly tomorrow. So thank you once again. And with that, I'll say have a great rest of your day, whatever time it is. And we'll look forward to seeing you next time.
Bye, everybody.